James Kaufman, World News Report today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is October 10th, 2025. I think it's time that we're honest with ourselves. We didn't really get hit by any solar winds except for these anomalies that pop up during these heavy plasma impacts. So far, there's been 7 of them, and I think we're about to see the 8th one. It started on the 4th of October, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and today is the 10th. We're actually going into the 11th. What is strange is these seem to start right at the beginning of the day, which is about 7 p.m. Central Time here in the U.S. And look, we can line them all up right at the beginning of the day. And they last for approximately 6 hours, and they're all generally the same. However, they appear to be becoming more uniform and stronger as you can see them shoot past this 100 centimeters cubed mark, along with their temperature is increasing. It appears like we're in an increasing trend as well. Solar winds should have hit us around the 7th or 8th or 9th. And everyone's alluding to the fact that we're being bombarded by solar winds, but let's take a look at the chart here. The 7th, we're at about 475. The 8th, we're at about 425. The 9th, we're below 400. And again, you'll see some anomalies when the plasma impacts us. You can see that 6-hour period right there. And that one right there. And that one right there. And that one right there, and that one right there, and that one right there. But the solar winds from the coronal hole that was Earth-facing never impacted Earth. Show me where they hit. They didn't hit on the 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th. This other stuff seems to be moving with the plasma, along with the temperatures. Now, my guesstimate is that we're going to have another one of these anomalies at about 7 p.m. tonight. And it should be stronger, and our temperature should also spike again. Now, I try to work this out. What could be happening? What could be happening at 0100 UTC time that would have this much plasma that is this strong involved, would spike temperatures up this high? And I just can't draw anything out with a satellite. I just can't think of why this would be happening, but we're going to see if it happens again here. I'm fairly certain it's going to. We'll know more in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and if it happens again, well, I expect it's going to be stronger and even hotter, which means soon we'll just be frying in a pan. God bless. I have no idea what is going on, but it's obviously a pattern, and it obviously is getting stronger and hotter, whatever's going on, and we never got hit by the promised solar winds that everyone's talking up. Now, we do have all of these earthquakes going off all of a sudden as well, and I came over here to make sure the solar winds were popping off because I was surprised on how many earthquakes we are having with no planetary alignments and such. We do have a lot of geomagnetic connections to planets, i.e. Earth does, but there were no solar winds that show up on ACE or that show up on Discover. And we'll take a quick look at Discover too. This is I believe a 7-day chart here. Yep, 7-day chart. So as I'm getting ready to show you something else, I see that NASA just posted this, and they say it's from their Solar Dynamic Observatory, and that it photographed this coronal hole yesterday, and it was mid-solar disk on the 9th yesterday. It also says that the solar winds from the coronal hole won't reach Earth until the 12th now. They were originally predicted to reach Earth on the 8th or 9th. If you would recall, they talked about it explicitly. And this coronal hole was not Earth-facing yesterday. I'll show you all exactly where it is currently. The reason I was worried, obviously, about this is all the earthquake activity. I mean, we could use the geomagnetic connection of Earth and all the planets as some sort of solution, but this was all based on the solar winds, and they were supposed to impact on the 8th and 9th, the first go around. Now they're saying that this is directly Earth facing on the 9th yesterday, and in fact that's not true. Let me show you. And they're saying impact on the 12th. All right, over to Go Solar Ultraviolet Imager. We can see that coronal hole is clean over here now. So it's moved from central disk all the way over here in less than 24 hours. Today's the 10th, right? Now it takes about 12 or 13 days for anything to transit the sun. That looks like 2 days of movement, at least to me. If this was Earth facing and was directly Earth facing yesterday, then I would still expect the solar winds to be here by the 11th, not the 12th. That means that they're still taking 3 days to get here, when in fact the first forecast was for the 8th and 9th. If y'all go back and look at some of my work, I was able to go to Discover as well and pull up the last several days. You can see that there has been no solar wind. They pushed it off. But we also see these anomalies here, starting on the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, and we're about to have another one. And please notice that the temperatures spike during all those time periods on our other satellite as well. So there's nothing wrong with ACE, and there's nothing wrong with Discover. We keep getting 6 hours of plasma, 6 to 8 hours of plasma bombardment every day, starting at around 0000 UTC time, or about 7 p.m. Central Time. Now, I'm listening to all of y'all, and someone says, well, let's see what CERN is up to. And yes, they're running huge proton physics experiments on full power here. The problem is it's been running for the last several hours, and we've seen no proton events whatsoever. And it's been running on and off all day with no proton events either. They would have to turn it on around 2400, which we're already in full instantaneous luminosity and have been most of the day already. So them turning it on at 2400 to start the plasma, or 0000 UTC time, is not what's occurring. I don't think we can blame CERN. I wanted to see, in fact, if there was any correlation, but time-wise, it just does not add up. God bless, guys. If y'all have any ideas how we could be incrementally timely being hit by plasma with increased temperatures every day since the 4th, please let me know in the comments below. Please share our videos, please subscribe, and always remember that anything's possible in Bizarro World.